All right, everybody. I got a good friend here. He's called DJ Nobody Special. He's from Florida. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are
Yeah,
you?
doing great, man. I'm glad to have you on here. Like, it's funny that we met on social media a long time ago. I think we started following each other a while ago, and
Yeah,
I'm glad like this is the first time meeting face to face, and we get to talk about your journey, dude.
it's a pretty wild journey, that's for
It's a
sure.
wild journey, right? Yeah. So let's get right into it, man. How'd you get started into music and like where'd you
Oh
start from
man,
and where you are now? Because I know you've been doing it for a long time, so there's must have been a long journey so far.
absolutely, bro. I started honestly when I was like 14 or 15 years old. When I downloaded FL Studio for the first time, it was still called Fruity Loops.
Mm.
Um, that's my first foray into any kind of music, electronic or otherwise. When I was a kid, I was a juggalo. Me and all my friends were obsessed with ICP,
Yeah.
and my buddies just wanted to be rappers really bad. They just wanted to be like, that guy that freaking rap about crazy horrorcore evil ICP stuff. And we didn't have any beats and we didn't know anybody that made beats or anything like that. So me being the kind of group nerd, they were like, "Hey, you should learn how to make beats." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I did. I just dove into it. I still have some of my original beats from 25 years ago. They're so
25
bad.
years, the early
Yeah, yeah.
2000s.
Seriously, man, I got timestamps on this stuff. I can prove it. I'll pull it up right now. Um, and I started making beats, and eventually, after a couple of years, they started getting a little better. And as our personal interests like grew out and we grew up a little bit, and it was no longer just, oh, I want to be, a crazy rapper. It all of a sudden became, I want to make good music.
Yeah.
It turned from, this is cool and fun and all, but in reality, we all like all different kinds of music. So we started a band, and the name of that band was actually Final Form. And it was
Mm.
kind of a play on the idea of we started doing one thing together and changed into something completely different. And that was how we came up with that name. We ended up actually getting signed to
Oh,
a
really?
Universal Music Group. Yeah, we got a fat advance, all that good stuff. But that was like my first real toes in the water in like the real music industry, where the big boys are playing.
Yeah.
We recorded an album and immediately got our album shelved and
Oh.
essentially turned around and we owed the record label like 10K or something like that for the advance plus the recording fees in the studio and everything else that they had paid for us. Without any promotion, without any album sales, anything.
Yeah. Those are the
It
bad
just
things you hear about the music industry all the time.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. I was a 16-year-old with like $10,000 in my
Yeah.
bank account. I thought I had won. Like I thought that was it,
Mm.
bro. Like I made it. Like I went from being this kid who didn't even know how to freaking lay a MIDI note down to holy shit, I'm in the studio. We actually met Outkast. I'm originally from Atlanta. The studio we were in is
Mm.
in Atlanta. And when they brought us into the studio for the first time, and I've since learned that they do this as kind of like a trick to new artists to give you that feeling of, oh shit, I made it.
Yeah.
But when they brought us into the studio, Outkast was sitting in there working on their album, and we were like, I mean, can you imagine a giddy 15-year-old from Atlanta? They practically
Bro.
taught Outkast in school in Atlanta. Like
Yeah.
everybody loved them, bro. They
Dude,
they
they were
were like
huge
our
back in the
freaking
2000s too.
heroes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And to just casually run into them and they were real cool. They were just like, "What's up? How's it going?" We shook hands and then we went to like Studio B and they kept working on their album in Studio A. But just that experience alone made me fall in love with music, bro. I just from that point on, my whole life, I was like, man, I gotta get into this. Like somehow, some way, this has to be my career. This has to be what I get
The
paid
bug bit
for.
you, man.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. And I've been on that grind ever since. Been up and down all over the place.
Man, if you want to do music, that's it's like such a roller coaster. You get so many ups and downs. Like you're at your peak, you're in the studio with Outkast, and then the label drops you and you're just like, fuck, what do I do now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then
Absolutely.
would you agree with this? For music, whoever wants to do music, you just got to jump right into it. Like there's no right or wrong time. Like you literally
There
got to just
isn't.
jump into it, and you learn things on the way, and you'll like you said earlier, where the first beats I made, they were crap. I mean, we all make crap music in the beginning,
Right,
right?
right.
It's all
I,
about learning, keep going, and you'll figure it out eventually.
I still sometimes make crap
Oh man.
now. Right. I don't put it out, but sometimes you sit down and you think you have a good idea and you start laying out notes or building a drum pattern or whatever the case may be. You might make it halfway through the song and then you're like, wait, this isn't very good. Like, I don't like this. I've had times though where that happens and I might change an instrument or something or change a sound out for a different one and it can completely, change the whole track. So some of my best ideas have actually come from tracks that I thought were crap, but made a few changes, and all of a sudden I'm like, this is actually kind of fire.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is if you make something, if you think it's a pretty good idea, sit on it for a week, come back to it a week later, and you'd be like, oh, actually, I did not like that melody. Let me change that to a different instrument or something. And
Right.
then, music's always changing, so you can be like, damn, that was a good idea, and it could be fire. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Dude, that's crazy. So, like, what are you doing currently, like, in your music journey right now? Like, what are you like into? Like, what are you producing? Like, what are you doing right now?
So in my music journey now, I'm lucky that I do have a job as a resident DJ somewhere,
Mm,
which is cool because I'm able to pay my bills and stuff through doing what I love, and I'm super grateful for that. As far as like the music I'm putting out here lately goes, I'm kind of all over the place, man. If anything, it's probably my biggest talent and my biggest downfall at the same time. I could never stick to like one style of music, you know.
yeah,
The
no, for
last
sure.
song I came out with is a UK garage song that's just it's a real emotional song, but it's a banger, man. And it's something that when I sit down to make a song, I can't ever decide what I'm gonna make. I literally just start playing around with sounds until I get something that sounds cool. And then next thing you know, I have like a hard dubstep song or I have a house song or whatever the case may be. Um, it seems silly, but it's almost like I let the song decide what the next thing is that I'm going to be working on.
Yeah, it never works out like that where I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make dubstep or like house or whatever, and it just kind of just goes in a different direction. And you're just like, just roll
Yeah.
with it, kind of go with the feeling of how it sounds and what you're feeling at that moment. It's always like that for some reason. But it's cool to like make different genres because like if you stick with one genre, that's cool. Like no shame in that. But it gets boring. I like to switch it up sometimes. So, me, I like to make house, but I like to dabble with like maybe drum and bass or UKG. Or I started in hip hop at first.
Hey, me too, man. And I still produce hip hop to this day. A lot of people don't know that I actually produce like hip hop tracks for underground artists and shit, including my brother, who he's actually not very underground at this point. I think he's hit his first million plays on
Oh,
freaking
nice, nice.
Spotify. Yeah, his name is Charlie Classic. This is actually his brand right here, Low Lifes.
Low life.
Um, but yeah, that's one thing that I'm pretty proud of is I still make beats for everybody from people like him who have a nice little following and a bunch of people that nobody's ever heard of. People like my 16-year-old self just trying to get started.
Yeah,
Um, I love doing that though, man, because I feel like giving someone who's just starting out access to someone like me who can really like produce a track from start to finish is such a game changer. When you're just getting started and you don't know how to record your own vocals, you don't know how to mix your own beats or anything like that. You want to make original stuff. You don't want to just go download stuff off of YouTube. Well, it's
nah.
cool because you find somebody like me and then I'm like, man, I got you. Let's do a song together, I'll make the beat. We can like do 50-50 split on the royalties or whatever. And for me, it's just getting my name out there more and for them, they're getting access to so much more than they
Just a
had
beat.
access to before. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's nice to have a producer that actually knows what they're doing. So you can make the
Absolutely.
beat, you can track their vocals, you can mix and master, and you have knowledge in the game that these youngins don't really know anything about.
100%,
Because
100%,
all they're
dude.
all they're
And
thinking is I just want to make music and put it out there, but there's so much more that goes into it.
It's crazy how much goes into it. And there's so much more that I don't know too, with
Oh.
how many times I've been burned and scammed and dealt with different things here and there throughout this industry. I will never, I could be a millionaire DJ making tons of money every gig, and I would still say I have tons to learn.
Uh,
Tons to learn.
100%. A lot of people that I know that are what you call it, they're like they have their foot in the game. Are always learning. There's always something new to learn. It's like music's always changing, so there's never no end to learning. I say this a lot in all my other podcasts. There's never any end to learning. You're always learning something new. Once you
Yep.
think you know everything, that just means you know nothing.
Right, exactly. Exactly. When I
Right?
was a kid, I thought I knew everything, and
Yeah.
boy, did I not know anything at all, period. Had no idea what I was doing, truthfully.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you say was your biggest struggles? Because I know you've been in the game for a while. What was your biggest struggles while you're trying to rise up, getting your foot in the game?
there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on in the DJ
Mm,
community. I'll just say it,
100%,
man.
man.
It's rough. And a lot of it doesn't have to do with the gatekeeping of talent, meaning like we only let good people play, which is essentially how I thought it worked back in the day. That regardless, you at least had to be good at DJing or producing good tracks that people want to hear, you know?
Hmm.
But the reality is, it's really more about who you know than anything at the
The
end of the day.
relationships.
Yeah, you can genuinely not even be that good and still play major stages, and people will still be your fan at the end of the day because they saw you play on some major stage.
Right.
Um, I don't know that it's fair or unfair, but that's just the way things kind of are, you know? I know making really good music can get you to that point to where you can get on those stages too, you know? But at the end of the day, if you don't know the right people and you're not getting your music in front of the right people, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Right now, currently, I'm like really focusing on like my brand and marketing. Because like I was
Absolutely.
talking earlier, where anyone can make a great song, but if you don't market yourself and have a good branding behind it, then no one's gonna know about it.
Yeah,
And kind of like what you're
exactly.
saying is like you gotta know people. Like if you have a great track and you know people, then it can take you further in your brand. It's like the possibilities are endless. Like you don't have to be a one hit wonder. Your brand is so strong, you keep making tracks, keep putting music out there. Like people will find you,
Yeah,
and your career can
absolutely.
go further. So how do you feel about social media? Because I talk about this a lot, and a lot of people that I talk to, that's what they struggle with most. Like, what do I post?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
how
man,
are
me
people gonna
too.
see me? It's like everybody struggles with this. I kind of want to like pick your brain on like how you feel about it.
I feel like I'm in a weird spot for this because I literally live at a famous social media house and I rub shoulders with all types of interesting characters that have millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok and things like that.
Mhm.
I am in a like weird, lucky position of being around all these people. So I hear a lot of people talk about things from different points of view, everybody from my little 5,000 followers to other people's, millions of followers. And it's wild how everybody looks at it differently and how
Mm.
it's kind of based on how successful you are at it as
Yeah,
to how you view it, you know?
it's just a number
So,
to me, man.
right, at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
totally just a number. And truthfully, it can help you, but it doesn't mean everything. There are people out there. In fact, there's a certain famous DJ out there who has, I want to say, 7 million followers on Instagram and TikTok, like independently. So like 14 million-ish
Mm,
total. Um, and he got booked for a bunch of gigs, but it turns out he wasn't a very good DJ. So
mm,
it didn't last for very long. He played a few shows around the states and then kind of fell off. And after that, he even stopped posting for a while. He just recently started posting things again, so we'll see how it goes. But there was several talented DJs that were calling out his videos as being fake, and it was a whole
mm.
thing. So while social media can help you, it can't really make you. You still have to also make good tracks. You still have to also be able to be competent or good as a DJ and things like that. So, social media is irritating as crap to me because I know people that have 10,000 followers that couldn't beat match by ear to save their life.
Yeah. I
Literally,
mean
if
the
I was holding
basics
a
of
gun to their
DJing, right?
head, right, and I was like, "Hey, slide that platter to the left a little bit, your tracks are off," and I would have to pull the trigger on this person. Like, but they have a ton of followers, so they get more gigs, you know?
Yeah,
It
it's just
sucks, but it is what it is.
I think it's just that number because I've heard this from somewhere where if let's say you have 1 million followers, but you can't sell 1,000 tickets to your show. You know what I mean? That
That
number doesn't mean anything. You have 1 million
doesn't mean
followers,
shit.
you get paid to play this gig, but like you say, you can't beat match. You suck. You can't work the crowd. It doesn't
Right,
really mean anything.
right. Yeah,
I think people should stop chasing the numbers and literally just use it as a tool to promote yourself or like show your skills, you know? I think
yeah.
skills are way more important than anything because the number is just it's just a fucking number.
100%, man. It's just a freaking number at the end of the day.
Yeah, I want
And
people to realize that. Don't chase the numbers, man. Just it's just a fucking number.
the audacity that just a number gives some of these people too, man. Like I've met some people where I was meeting one of my heroes only to find out they were essentially a douchebag, and it was a really shitty feeling. It was not
Uh,
good at all,
you know
man.
they say
And
never
then
meet your heroes.
100%, 100%. And then there's been other times, and I will absolutely name drop on this one because I love this story so much. I had Waka Flocka Flame actually stayed at my house for like a week. He had a concert here in Orlando and he wanted to stay somewhere cool. And instead of staying at a hotel, he stayed here at the Sausage Castle, right?
Mhm.
I'm telling you, man, one of the most genuine, humble,
Mm.
nicest dudes you've ever met in your life. I'm talking after a day he had memorized everyone who lives here's name. Like it was so cool to see someone who essentially could do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, got just buckets of money, and he still went out of his way to be nice to even the lowliest crew member here where I work and live, you know? Even
Yeah.
to the guy who cuts the grass and takes out the trash, he showed him respect. And that meant like so much to me. It made me want to go buy all of his albums, even though I don't really listen to him.
Yeah.
Like remixes and stuff, of course. I mean, his energy is unmatched, but it was really cool and it meant a lot to me to see that you know, at the end of the day, who you are as a person isn't really going to change with the money you have or don't
Hmm.
have. It might accentuate that a little bit, but at the end of the day, you are who you are. And that's just, you know, you
Yeah,
can be a
that's
crappy person with 1 million followers, or you can be a nice person with 1 million followers, you know?
yeah. I always think say this to people, always be humble, man. Like that I mean
Yeah,
that's part of your brand.
absolutely.
Just like meet if you meet somebody, just be kind, you know? And
Yeah,
that'll take you so much further where like let's say we just met at a party and I was like, "Oh man, like DJ, nobody's special. Very nice to meet you. I really love your music." You know, be kind and you'll remember that
right.
person and be like, "Oh man, I remember he was really kind to me. Like if he like maybe he needs something, maybe I want to help him out." You know,
Absolutely, man.
people are fucking so rude sometimes.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy. Life is short, man. Life is short. I've dealt with a lot of life loss in my life, and I honestly think it's changed me for the better. It sucks that I had to go through that loss
mm,
to realize certain things, but the that's the good part I take away from it is even though I went through like losing my son died at a very
oh,
young age.
dude, so sorry to
Um,
hear that, dude.
it taught me to not only not take things so seriously, but also to not take things for granted as well, you know?
Oh yeah,
Because
100%.
life is short, man.
Dude,
Life is short.
life is short for sure. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear about your son. I did not know
It's
that.
all good, bud. I have so much lore.
Yeah.
It's not even funny, man. I keep telling people one day I'm gonna drop like a tell-all book or something, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm
We
gonna
got
have
a
to
book coming soon.
eventually. Yeah, maybe, maybe. Not. I'm gonna have to get a ghostwriter or something. I'm not much of a writer, but I could definitely tell one hell of a story. I've been up, I've been down. At one point, I had tons of money. I'm currently broke.
Yeah, you're literally on the roller coaster ride of
Yeah, yeah, 100%, man, 100%. But I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm gonna keep putting out music in the meantime. You know,
yeah.
that's all we can do at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean the music part is like I think a lot of people make music because it gives them freedom, you know? It's just
Yeah,
a way to express themselves. It is art. Music is art, 100%. So just it's that feeling of like when I just make music, I'm just like I don't gotta worry about anything else. I'm just trying to make something really cool, like however I feel, and put it out there, and hopefully people like it too.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to talk about because I know we have a lot of DJ. I have a lot of DJ friends getting started. Like, how'd you get started into DJing? Like, and what do people have to go through to kind of play that main stage or get a gig?
My main thing that I would suggest to almost everyone, I even tell myself this all the time,
Mm.
is practice. Practice, practice, and practice some more. Get good
Yeah.
before anyone even ever hears you hit play on the first track, before you ever even try to hop on a stage, even if there's only three people standing in front of you on that stage, is to get good. So I've been producing since I was like 15. I've been DJing for about the same amount of time,
Mm.
but I didn't even play my first gig until a few years ago because
Oh, really?
I literally practiced for 10 years before I ever friggin' put
Wow.
myself in front of a single person.
Wow.
True story. And then how I got my first gig was crazy because it's honestly probably one of the biggest gigs I've ever played still to this day is I was at like a little mini festival that my boss was putting on, and he was supposed to have a DJ there to be like his DJ to essentially play music in between him going up on stage and the other acts going up on stage and things like that, right?
Mm.
Well, I had been working for him for a while doing his web and tech support and things like that. And he's always known that I've like made music and that sort of thing. So essentially a fully packed crowd. I'm talking there were probably a solid 7 to 10,000 people in front of the
Wow.
stage. He walks up to
Wow.
me
For
and
your
he
first
goes,
gig?
"Hey, yes, yes, for my first gig." Now keep in mind, like I said, I had practiced for
Yeah.
10 years before this.
Hmm.
So it wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But my boss, Mike Busey, he walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, the DJ didn't show up. I've heard through the grapevine that you could DJ.
Mm.
Can you step in and do this real quick?" And I was like, "Sure, I got you, boss. No problem. Let me just hop up there and show you what I can do
Yeah.
in front of all these people, you know?" So I played to this huge crowd, and sure as shit, man, tapped myself on the back. I rocked the house. Like
Killed
I
it.
brought it down. It was great. Yeah, there's videos of this too on our website and stuff. I got the proof.
Yeah.
And it went freaking awesomely, man. We had such a good time that Mike was like, "Hey, screw that other guy. You're my DJ now." So
Mm.
now when Mike throws his wild parties, I get to DJ all the wild parties that we have here at the Sausage Castle. So that's how that turned into me being,
Oh,
the
so that
resident DJ here.
yeah, because I know you always talk about the Sausage Castle. So that's the resident DJ that you spin at like every week,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
just every time there's a
absolutely.
party.
Every time there's a party, it typically ends up being about every week, sometimes twice a month or whatever. It varies a little bit, but for the most part, yeah. They call it the wildest house in America. In fact, if you Google the wildest house in America, my house is the first thing that pops up. I like when people talk crap to me on the internet because I'm always like, "Hey, come and find me. Just Google the wildest house in America. That's my address. Seriously, pull up.
Dude,
If you can get through the gate and the 9 foot tall concrete fence that goes around the whole property, then we can talk about whatever your problem with me is."
dude, that story is crazy because it reminds you of this quote where it says, "Luck is when preparation meets opportunity." I'm pretty sure you heard
Exactly.
it. I mean, everyone's heard of it.
Yeah.
I say it
Yeah.
a lot. Like you practice the skills for like what 10 years, let's just say, and then an opportunity came and you're ready.
Right.
10,000 people, like five people, whatever. You're fucking ready, and then
My
you
heart was
rock the
racing,
crowd.
bro. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I haven't played any gigs yet. I'm still practicing. I can't imagine playing for like. I know you got to start in an empty room. Let's just say if that happens. But 10,000 EDC, like a main stage, like 50, 75,000. I think you still get
Right.
the
Right.
nerves, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. One of my homies, Rated R, he's a big dubstep DJ. I feel like a lot of people have heard of him. He was telling me a story recently about when he played Bass Pod, which is EDC Las
Hmm.
Vegas,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he straight up told me, he was like, "Man, I was nervous." He was like, "I was shaking." He's like, all of a sudden, I couldn't remember if I knew how to DJ anymore. And he's been DJing just as long as I have, He's like, man, I was nervous. I really was. But once you hit that crowd and you start playing your first couple songs, he's like, man, you just slide into it and it's like the crowd isn't even there, you know? It's
Yeah.
just you and the controller and that's it, even though you have all those people.
I think after like the first couple songs, it's just muscle memory, and then when when you're playing your first couple songs and you're just vibing, like nothing
Right.
else matters. You're just like, don't fuck up.
100%.
And then if you do fuck up, it's okay because that just means you're playing live. And man, I've heard DJs fuck up all the time where they literally
Oh,
like press the cue button
100%.
and the music stopped and they literally get on the mic and they're like, "Oh, my bad, guys," and then go back to the drop. I'm like, I applaud that because you're playing live
Yeah.
and you're just creating vibes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I've fucked up plenty of times. I tell people that you're not even a real DJ until you've been in front of a crowd and you accidentally restarted the song you're in the middle of a drop for. Like you accidentally hit that first cue pad or whatever, or even worse, you load a song onto the deck that's currently playing. If you've never done
Oh.
that one in front of a crowd, let me
Yeah, I've
tell
done that
you,
before, playing for
uh,
friends at just parties, just fucking up
right.
randomly.
It's just awkward. It's just so awkward. Everybody in the club's looking at you like, what
Yeah.
just happened?
I think you
Uh,
just gotta brush it off and just keep going. Like, what
right.
else you gonna do?
It depends on how many people noticed as to how bad I'll play it up. I've done that before where I loaded a track onto the deck playing and I literally just started spinning back the track and then I picked up the microphone and I was like, whoops, let's try that again one more
Yeah,
time and
it's
then
like
I'll let it drop or
you just
something,
fucking
you
move
know?
on. Just do
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
move on. Because,
Absolutely, man.
people aren't gonna remember like, oh man, I remember that DJ fucking up. Like, it was so bad. It's like, as long as you recover from it, you're good to go.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
So I just want to kind of ask you, like, what kind of advice would you give like newer DJs? Because you've been in the game for a while, and there's a lot of people that want to do this. There's a lot of people, and then I think a lot of them are lost. Like, what advice would you give them, like new DJs?
I would honestly tell people, and I wish I could tell my younger self this, honestly, is to not be afraid to use all the tools that are available to you as a DJ. Meaning, no matter what the internet says, it's okay to use the sync button. My advice would be just don't rely on the sync button. Be able to DJ without it, but know how it works and know that it's okay to use it. I've stood next to many a famous DJ in a backstage area that probably wouldn't want people to know this, but damn near all of them use the sync button for different reasons too.
Yeah.
And people think that the sync button instantly makes you a good DJ, but that's really not the
Yeah, I
case.
don't get where that came from. Where like if you use the sync button, you're not a real DJ. Because I'm like,
Right.
it's a total use. Like
100%, man.
filters, like echo, delays, it's a total use. Fucking use it.
Yep. Absolutely. Fucking use it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using it. Even if you use the sync button, you still have to worry about your timing, your phrasing, all that good
Mhm.
stuff. You can't just load two tracks on decks and hit sync. And because they're playing at the same speed means they're going to sound good together. That's not how
Mhm.
that works. That's not how that works at all. So don't be afraid to like explore and use your tools, man, because at the end of the day, what really matters is the vibe of the crowd, how good of a job you're doing
Yeah.
transitioning in between tracks and controlling the dance floor. That's really what matters at the end of the day. Only other DJs care about the sync button, and those DJs are just mad because they can't get any gigs. That's just how it is at the end of the day, man. It
Yeah.
really is. And I wish someone had told my 16-year-old self this.
Yeah, it's seriously what for me when I like just think about DJing, it's literally like reading the crowd, playing the right tunes, and get the crowd moving. Because it's like it's when you get hired as a DJ, it's still a business. How many tickets you can sell, how many people you can bring in the door, how many people you can make them stay in the club on the dance floor, to buy drinks and just like
100%.
vibing, just like
Yeah.
move the crowd.
I see so often where like a new DJ who might be, they say they want to be a rhythm DJ or some kind of hard dubstep or whatever. They might get hired for a gig to open up a club or something like that. And they're playing music like that at
Mm.
like
The
9 p.m.
experimental crazy shit.
Right, which is fine. I understand that that's what some people are there to see, but at the end of the day, you should always work into a vibe. you should almost
Mm,
always start with like some house music or something that's going to be a little bit easier for everyone to listen to, and then slowly work your way into the harder stuff, the weirder stuff. By 4 a.m., you can play the weirdest, hardest, whatever you
yeah, that's when the
want.
afters happen.
But
So,
right, right.
experiment.
100%. It's about like reading the room and seeing what, like you said, what's getting people moving. Most
Mm,
people don't, even the people who are into music like that, don't necessarily want to listen to the hardest, angriest dubstep
not
early
for
in the
like
night,
3 hours.
Right. Yeah, that too. That too. Sometimes people, when they play music like that, they'll never build in a break. It'll just be drop after drop after drop. And I'm like, the dance floor it's like the ocean. It ebbs and flows. It's
Yeah.
drop and then build up for a while and then drop and then build up for a while, you know?
I really like how you said that, where the dance floor is literally like the ocean. Things should come in waves and not just
Yeah,
fucking tide
absolutely.
after tide after tide.
Right,
That's a
right.
very good way to say it.
Because people need breaks. If you wear everybody out real quickly, then you're going to clear out the dance floor in no time flat. I've seen it happen. I've
Yeah.
literally seen it happen.
So I kind of want to ask you what's because I'm still learning how to DJ. I know like the basic beat matching and all that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like when I hear some sets, it's literally an hour set, and they played 40 tracks in an out in 60 minutes, and it's literally just
yeah,
drop after drop, like you were saying. Like, how
yeah.
do you feel about the need for like house music where it's like longer, like actually play like the full song and like play it
Right.
out, like create a vibe, not just drop after drop after drop.
So I'm the kind of DJ where I will play the second drop or I will
Mm,
play longer parts of the song. I might go through a lot of tracks, but on certain tracks, I will almost always let the song play out. And
mm,
I do other stuff too that I don't see a lot of other DJs doing is I'll do double build-ups. I'll build up into a build-up. I've seen
mm.
people get like almost frustrated, but like they love it. They're laughing. They think a drop is coming, but really it's another build-up. I know a lot of dubstep DJs do that, but they do that in kind of a quick way. When I say that, I mean I will edge the freaking dance floor for 32 bars of a build-up because
You
I
gotta
took two
keep them on their
16-bar
toes.
build-ups, yeah, and put them together. And then finally when that drop hits, man, you'll see the crowd explode because they've freaking been wanting to hear a drop for so long,
Yeah,
and you finally did it that they have 10 times more energy than they did on the last drop.
bro.
But when they do like what you were talking about, where it's just drop to drop to drop to drop, 8 bars,
Man, I don't
build
like
up,
those
drop.
sets at all.
Right. No, I'm not a big fan. That's Excision sets, I feel like are
Yeah.
always like that. They're pretty much always to the point, build up, drop, build up, drop, build up, drop, that sort of thing. And I used to really enjoy those. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I need a little bit of variation. Honestly, for me too, when I play a set, I will literally play almost every genre you can freaking think of in a set. And that's another thing that I feel like separates me a little bit from some other like dubstep DJs and stuff. You're almost guaranteed to hear some techno, some house, some deep dubstep, a little bit of everything, hip hop, some rock even. I play a lot of rock songs in my sets, which really
Mm.
catches people off guard. Um, People are like, "Whoa, did he just drop Weezer?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes,
Hey,
I did."
but if it fits in the set, like
Yeah, man.
Weezer, like people know them. Like when I
Yeah,
hear Weezer,
yeah.
like, oh, like change it up, keep them on their toes, keep it interesting. You can't just play
And I
Boots and
like the
Cats for an hour. I mean, you could play Boots and
no.
Cats for an hour, or like 3 hours, but the variation is what people need to understand. Like, you're moving the crowd,
Absolutely.
you're creating a vibe. Dude, I'm down for Boots and Cats for 3 hours because I like, me, I'm a house head. I'm all about
Right,
house
right.
music, but
Yeah, and I
everyone is.
love
So
house too. Not a lot of people who also like weird experimental music also like house music too, but I love it all, man. I really do.
yeah, especially I think for producers, we just love music. So like I grew up in the what you call it, like Limp Bizkit, Corn. Then I got
Yeah,
yeah, I
Korn was
got
my
into
favorite band,
that,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Then I got to hip hop. Then my first rave was like 2005.
Nice. What
And
was your first rave?
my first rave was called How Sweet It Is in San Bernardino. They don't do
Okay,
that no
that
more.
sounds cool. No,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, we
Nice.
got over here, we got all the raves and like I remember going to my first EDC in LA, but the EDC, I think my best festival is EDC Las Vegas. It's just like the most fun.
Right.
I didn't go
We
to
have
Phoenix.
EDC Orlando here, and it's cool, but I always watch EDC Vegas online every year, and I'm a
Mhm.
little jealous. It's definitely cooler than EDC Orlando.
Oh, really? I don't know how big it
Yeah.
is in Orlando, but that Motor Speedway is it's fucking huge. You're
It's
literally going to a
huge.
it's huge. It's really it's pretty
Yeah,
big. And it's like walking into like a fairy tale.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like the rave scene now, it's completely different from what it was, what, 20 years ago? Like when was
Yeah,
the last
man.
time when did you start going to like raves and like partying?
I was partying and going to raves and I was like 15, 14 years old, my guy. I was sneaking into raves way before I was ever old enough to get into raves. Back when I first started going to raves, people didn't even have camera phones.
Oh
Um,
man.
so it was completely different world, different vibe. I feel like people felt more free to be themselves
Yeah.
because of the fact that everyone didn't have a camera phone out everywhere, you know?
No, it's
Um,
completely different from what it was like in 2005 or
right.
2000s.
100%. It's changed so much over the years, but a lot of it has kind of stayed very similar. I feel like a lot of the core, like, we really try to accept everybody, no matter how weird you are, is one of the things that really drew me towards the rave scene in general, you know? Um, if you do still like rock, that's okay. If you do listen to pop also, that's okay because we're gonna play some pop songs. We're gonna play some remixes. We're gonna,
Mhm.
and I love that. Whereas a lot of other hardcore genres, just meaning like people who are obsessed with those genres, not hardcore as in like the music itself is
Yeah,
hardcore,
just
but
hardcore in the genre.
hardcore followings to these genres. People are very much like, oh, you listen to dance music, you're not a real metalhead, you know? Oh,
That's funny.
uh,
I just had another party with my friend. He was in the punk rock and that punk rock culture. And then he used
yeah.
to go to raves and they'd be like, "Oh, why do you like EDM?" But punk rock was the culture is so heavy.
The So before I ever even became a juggalo, I was a punk, funny enough. That was my
Yeah.
whole personality. Yeah, yeah. Like I was a skater punk all the way up until I was like 12 or 13 years old. I
Mhm.
skated with kids in the neighborhood and whatnot. And one of the things that and they're his dad was a punk too, and he had like a very strong like punk philosophy about him, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
And something he always said stuck with me so hard and that I still talk about it and bring it up to this day. And that's the most punk thing that you can do is literally doing something because you like it, no matter what anybody else says. Period. It
Yeah.
is super punk to be a punk and also listen to EDM. It is the
Yeah.
most punk thing you can do because it's literally rebellion. If punks say that, oh, you have to only listen to MXPX and Less Than Jake or whatever
Yeah.
to be a punk, then not listening to that is literally almost the definition of what punk is. You know,
Mhm.
punk is thinking for yourself. That's what it's supposed to be at the end of the day, to
Yeah.
me anyway.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I really like that. Because like well, music, like you like what you like.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
let anyone tell you that, oh man, you listen to house music, you must be like stupid or something. Like fucking it's
right.
music. I remember
Like, dude,
Justin
there's
Jay
so much
said,
good house out there. You're crazy.
dude, yeah. I remember this DJ said this to me. He's like, it's just music. It's not that serious. When I heard that, I'm like, Psh, like it really isn't that serious. It's just fucking music. Like people
Right.
enjoy it when you make it. Like don't think too much. Don't think too hard. Like if other people will love it, as long as you love it, put it
Absolutely.
out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's a
supposed to be
big thing
enjoyed,
too. Yeah. A lot of people don't put their music out, man, and myself included. Not so much these days. I really try to focus on finishing and putting out songs, but imagine if I had been putting out songs those all those years I had been producing and practicing, how far further along I might be now, you know?
Mm.
So, just put them out.
Yeah, so one thing I want to ask you is you've been in this game forever. Like, is there anything that you want to share that people should really know about just anything?
Absolutely, man. Throw your own shows. I can't
Mm.
stress this enough. Throwing your own event or show can be a game changer. It can teach you so much about the industry in general from a different angle. You can be a lot more understanding of what a promoter tells you or a booking agent or whatever the case may be when you have literally been the booking agent, when you literally
Mm.
know
That's
what
true.
this guy is dealing with right now. I'm in a weird position of I'm the DJ here at the castle, but I also help run events here. So I have a pretty good understanding of a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that happens way beyond just being a DJ, you know? And it'll really open your eyes a lot more to the industry in general and help you be able to talk to people a little better when you're trying to get your foot in the door for a show, you know, because you can better understand what that person might be looking for as far as a DJ goes, you know. Being picky about what things you even try to be on or get booked for is definitely a good thing. Playing every show is not going to change your life. Playing to the four
Yeah.
friends who show up to the same little local bar every weekend
Yeah.
is not going to be the thing that's going to get you in the charts, you know. It's
Mm.
just not. It's not going to get you on EDC,
Mm.
unfortunately. It would be cool. I've played a ton of those shows, and we should all play those shows. Anybody just starting out should definitely play to one person, to
Yeah.
play to an empty room somewhere.
I think you kind of
But
have to go through that, right? That's just part of the
yeah, yeah.
process.
It absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's just something that we all should have to do to thicken our skin a little bit.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, we all have to go through it's like people are forgetting the small steps. Like everyone's like, I want to play main stage EDCs. Like you'd even fucking play to nobody in an empty bar for zero people.
Right.
Like why the fuck do you want
Right.
to play EDC? You're not ready for that. And that's what I'm learning. That's I'm like, I just want to play a small gig. And I think you're right about a lot of people have said this to me where if you can't get a gig, fucking throw your own show. And then you will
Yes.
literally learn everything of like ticket sales, like what like gear do you need, bartender, servers, fucking restrooms, bathrooms, all that shit. Like however big you're trying to make this show, you have to if you learn everything, then you actually know if you're going to another promoter what they're going through and what they're thinking and how to
Yep.
fucking connect with them.
Yeah. It makes a big difference, man. We had a festival here at the castle not that long ago called Camp Space, and we had about 90 DJs here, and it was a 3 day full on, like, we basically hosted our own EDC. We had over
Yeah.
1,000 people here on
Oh,
property
really?
for a 3 day camping festival. It was epic, and we all learned a lot, and I can't. We're going to do another one of those again, probably at the beginning of next year, and maybe be even bigger this year. Just the stuff that you learn from being put in a different role like that, it makes a difference.
Yeah, so hopefully it's gonna be a yearly type thing because I think like we talked about earlier, consistency and the more you do it, and boom, you might have a fucking big ass festival going on in like
Yeah, yeah.
5 years or something where
I hope so,
you can
bro.
charge ticket sales and get all this
Yeah,
merch and stuff going, and you got a
yeah.
business going.
Yeah, this was so I didn't start Camp Space, but one of my homies did, and then we linked up and I was like, "Hey man, you know where I live, right?" I was like, "I know a great place. We have 80 acres here. We have a really nice house for like VIP after party stuff. We have a full campground with showers, bathrooms, all that stuff, you
Uh,
know. This place was essentially built for a festival." And he was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." So it was the fourth year for Camp Space and the
mm,
first year of it here at the castle.
yeah,
But it went really well. And we're already talking about ways that we can hopefully make it even bigger next year. I'm thinking buses, honestly. I'm thinking we're going to have like a bus pickup type situation
mm,
so we can fit more people on property while still having less cars on property.
yeah,
And
true.
some other stuff like that that we're going to do to make it even more wild. We had some pretty decent headliners, some old school guys, some new school guys. It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, hopefully if I can ever make it out to Florida, then I know who to
Hey,
call.
if you can ever make it out to Florida, just know you are always welcome here at the
Yeah,
castle.
I appreciate that, man. I've been
We
wanting
have
to
a
go out and it's crazy with social media that how we met on social media and just
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
just people from New York, Chicago, Florida. It's like Northern California. Just I just meet people from everywhere. It's like it's good to like meet everybody, and I just want to meet them in person because when you meet face to face, the handshake interaction, that's
Yeah,
when you know it's real.
right. Absolutely. Yeah, we have parties and events all the time, man. So if you ever want to come out
Yeah,
to
I
one or
know
whatever, I
who to
got
call
you.
for the parties.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Crazy, wild things happen here. You never know who's gonna show up. I just did something kind of cool last week. I don't, yeah, I'm sure you've heard of that Mexican OT, and
hmm
I know you've heard of Lil Wayne. Well,
hmm
they just dropped a new song together, and I'm actually in the music video for the new song. They
Oh,
filmed it here
really?
at the castle, yeah. And
That's
I'm
fucking
not just
dope.
in it. I'm not just like a background dude. I'm actually DJing in the video. I'm wearing a silly alien mask and I'm standing behind the decks in the video. It's pretty good, man. I
Is
can't
it
wait
out
for it to
yet?
drop. It's not out yet. The song just dropped like last week, and I think the video maybe drops next week or something like that. But it's
Um,
coming soon.
yeah, I'm
It's coming
definitely gonna be
soon.
on the lookout for that one.
Right. You'll see my goofy looking ass wearing a, Spirit Halloween alien
Alright.
freaking mask, but
DJing
whatever.
on the decks.
Right. I don't even care. I got credits in the song,
Yeah, I mean
so
that's
that's, you know,
it's cool to just be in a fucking Lil Wayne music video. Like,
right,
who's gonna say no
right.
to that? Like, put me in.
It's-
What do you need? What do you need me to wear? What do you need me to do? Like, fucking put me in there.
Exactly. Exactly. So it was pretty tight though, man. I can't wait for that to
Yeah,
drop.
that's super awesome, man. I think just kind of last things. Like, what do you have coming? Like, what do you have coming out? That's whatever it is. If it's any gigs, music, shows, stuff like that.
All of the above, my friend.
All
All
of
of
the
the
above.
above. Yeah, absolutely. So I dropped a song about probably about a year ago now, I think, and it's called Party. It's probably one of my most popular songs on Spotify and
Mm.
online and stuff. And as much as everybody loved it, I've been sitting around thinking for a hot minute that I really needed to make like a second version. So here pretty soon I'm gonna be dropping Party Part 2, which is
Like a
like
VIP.
kinda, because it's like I don't know, it's really like a sequel almost
Uh,
more than a VIP. It does share slight elements from the original, but it's definitely very different. But I just wanted to do something to just be like, man, the just almost honor the first track in a way.
you
It
got to
was like
double
my
down on it, you know?
right, right. It's one of the ones that a lot of my homies love, and it's one that every time I play it out, it always gets lots of love.
Mhm.
So we're gonna drop a new one and see what people think about that.
Yeah.
And then in general, I'm just gonna be dropping at least a song a month for the rest of the year. I've been working on trying to hit that solid goal of just one new track a month.
Dude, it's
And
so possible. Like just
right,
making music.
absolutely,
I
man.
mean, you've been doing it for years. Like I'm pretty sure you can make a track in probably a day, right?
So yeah, typically I can make a track from scratch in about a day, and then it'll take another couple of days usually to mix and master
Yeah.
it. So
It's like 3 days, let's just say.
right, yeah,
Oh,
that's a pretty average. Sometimes longer. You know how it goes. Like
yeah.
you'll just get a bass and a synth just won't sit right in the
Yeah.
mix together or
I
whatever.
totally
But
understand that.
yeah, but other than stuff, random little things, yeah,
Mhm.
you're not wrong. I can pretty much finish a song in about 3 days. Honestly, if it's like a hip hop song or something like that, I can
Uh,
finish it even quicker.
yeah, because it's literally just a beat. Just make room for the vocals, and as long as the vibe is there.
Right. Absolutely.
I haven't done this, but I guess I want to just like one last thing you would want to share with people, like advice, like life advice or something that you would want to share. I think this is really cool because I kind of want to use this for the end of the videos, just like any life advice because people need guidance or some type
Yeah,
of advice like that you would want to share.
absolutely. Um, man, uh, you can learn from anyone. That's my life advice, man. Even people that you might be in a better position than in life, or people who are in a better position in life than you are, you can learn from them. From someone on the street who doesn't know where they're gonna sleep tonight to someone who's sleeping in a mansion stuffed with duck feather freaking bedding.
Mhm.
Um everyone has different experiences in life and has gone through different things. And from that, we learn things.
Hmm.
And no matter who you are, you can learn someone from anyone. That's my biggest piece of life advice, honestly.
No, 100%, man. Dude, I really appreciate you being on this, dude. Like, I'm glad we got to do this, and like, I know you a little bit more, and hopefully other people will know you too
Yeah,
a little bit
absolutely,
more.
man. I really appreciate you having me on here. It's been a freaking blast.
Yeah, dude, I had a lot of
Um,
fun.
Anytime you want to just freaking chat it up too, just hit me up. And hey, I still want to do a song together. I know we've been talking about it for
Yeah,
like
you
two
asked me that a long
years.
time ago, but it just never happened.
Right, but and it's totally my fault, so I don't want anybody to think I'm blaming
No,
you.
no, no. You're good. You're good. But
But we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna drop a song
yeah, we're
together.
gonna we're gonna work on something together, like very
You're
soon.
actually one of the first people I ever asked, like an internet stranger. We're gonna say friend now, but originally internet stranger.
Yeah.
One of the first person I ever asked to even do a collab with. One of the first people where like you were nice enough and I felt comfortable enough to where even if you said no, you were gonna be like, hey man, maybe not right now, maybe later, or whatever the case may be. I felt like you were gonna shoot me straight instead of just being like, nah, this guy sucks. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. One
I
thing I
would
learned
never
is
do a song with him.
don't fucking ignore people. I hate that.
Right. Right. Oh,
Oh, there's a guy. Oh,
surprise. Surprise
yeah.
cat.
Yeah, I guess my life advice to be like kind of what you said, always be kind, be a good person. You never know who you're talking to. You never know what anyone else is going through. Just be that
Right.
kind person that people could respect and be like he wasn't an asshole.
Right.
Because we got a lot of those.
100%. 100%. There is enough assholes in
Yeah.
the world. We do not need any more of those.
All right, cool, man.
Respectfully.
Yeah, dude, I really appreciate you, man. I hope you have the great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All
We'll
right.
talk to you soon.
Okay, cool.
Bye.